Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back again to Dota 2 Asia Championship 2017 at CIS Qualifiers. Oh my goodness gracious me, oh my. Lyrical and Trent Packs. That's us guys. Oh wow. How you doing?
That's us. We're here. This is it. The day will be coming to an end. Our final. A third game here of Vega Squadron and Team Empire. And no Meepo.
10 seconds remaining.
That being said, we do have another freaking Ditch Weaver. Are we ever going to see this guy leave the match? I feel like he's been playing it so well.
Reserve time.
I don't know. I would be pretty concerned at this point, possibly. I guess, wait, was it... It was FN that was playing in the first game, but Weaver has seemed like he's dominated the series every time he's been playing.
Yeah. Have you played Weaver lately?
Oh, yeah. I love this hero.
Same. I gotta say, I can totally understand why he's so great right now. I think he's good up against a lot of the current flavor heroes. I think he's very good up against Lone Druid as well. Being able to keep an eye on the... Like, getting that bug on the bear is so important, because there's no items on the bear, so he doesn't even attack fast, so he's a hard time getting off the bug, and then that helps prevent Lone Druid from actually calling the bear back and using that as a Savage Roar while he's disabled. So Weaver can offer just a ton in terms of these team fights against that damn bear, as well as Shikuching onto the bear man himself, and helping out to actually pump through that damage. In addition, he helps out with minus armor strategies, so Slardar Weaver is one of the best openers currently available. And there's just so many other heroes you can add in that once you have that, they still can't just ban out minus armor. I mean, they take care of a sniper as well as a Shadow Fiend. So yeah, he is minus armor, but there's still TA. There's still Dazzle. There's all these options that you can move in towards, or you can just even go to a team that like helps go into a Roche. And there is one of your favorite heroes.
Yeah,
it's the Kunkka.
This is great.
With his Shadow Demon buddy.
That I will say that I don't like the combination as much anymore, and I think that the hero is kind of garbo, honestly. Like Kunkka, he's just been hit by the nerf stick so many times. And granted, you do have a ton of like lockdown, and it's going to be great against Weaver. I haven't seen the interaction with X Torrent on a Weaver with his level 25 talent. Like to me, that's an area where you might even be able to get away from it in time. You should be able to like time it perfectly, but those don't always look so clean, particularly in the chaotic fights. What do you think about like a Drow here for Vega Squadron, though? Is that crazy?
Great example. Yeah, no, that's certainly something you can head in towards. They don't have the best jump right now from the side Team Empire. They do have catch with the Kunkka, and it's okay single target initiation. When that's gonna be reduced already, and starting to hint towards maybe even that Drow lineup, as you'd said. That does. Either it probably puts the Weaver into like an offlane role situation, but we have seen that before for sure. It is still there. More than likely, it'll probably be Ditch Raw as we've had before, but Oracle, a hero we don't get to see too often anymore, but was pretty big flavor of the month back when Kunkka was being picked more often, and he's just great. You know, all that single target from Kunkka's Shadow Demon, they just want to set up onto one guy, blow him up with the Soul Catcher. You can save him sometimes with just the Fate's Edict, which is nice because then you can save your False Promise with someone else, or sometimes you just got to chuck the whole ulti at him and make sure he'll be okay.
Yeah, totally. Not bad at all. I will say that you still have the problem of the Lone Druid, and we've talked about the ways that you can deal with him with, the Weaver gain on top of him and stuff, but it does feel like at some point you're going to have to address this problem in the late stages of the game. And is Slardar good enough at that, or do they need some more like disable at this point? Because Oracle's kind of lacking in that regard.
Well, one thing that's kind of cool is that you can Fortune's End Weaver, and he can Shikuchi underneath people, and then you can use that stop to help control up a little bit. So we get a little bit more control from an Oracle than usual, but you're not wrong. It's still, he's no lion. It doesn't help out that much. So the offlaner probably going to be the biggest thing we look towards. And we talk towards Ghostig often getting his hero picked up early for Team Empire. For Vega Squadron, they still haven't revealed up their own offlaner. Maybe now they've seen the Sand King and understand what it is. It's going to be a brew, so control up the yin-yang here, and great against Lone Druid. Another great hero, I would say. He's got the mischance to help himself stay alive up against all those right clicks, as well as just being able to toss that Lone Druid, man. If he's all alone, you can just keep stunning him with the Earth Panda, keep him all locked down. But if it's in the middle of a team fight, sometimes it's best to just get rid of the bear. Don't worry about him. So many resources get poured into this guy. Let's just toss him up in a Cyclone and kill the rest of his team and deal with him when he comes back down.
Quite strong. And I'm curious what the range is exactly on the Drunken Haze. I feel like it's pretty large, so he should be able to hit Lone Druid. throughout the
Oh,
laning
yeah.
phase as well. But yeah, great value point off of this one. 25 mana for 5 seconds on a 5-second cooldown, 4-second duration, 70% mischance. Like, it's absurdly good, particularly in the laning phase.
5
Great
seconds
hero.
I was playing quite a bit of Brewmaster lately, and I was surprised at how his ulti doesn't feel that bad. Like 140
Reserve time.
seconds, 120. It's not too bad. I thought it would be worse. I thought maybe this hero was like Garbo tier because of how long it is, but when it comes to smokes and whatnot, and actually like you get some kills, you push the tower and objectives, you back up. Although it's kind of sucks you can't capitalize off of shrines quite as well because you can't just like shrine up, smoke again, and go for another pick because of how long the primal split is. By the time your opponents are at least looking towards getting their own objective, chances are it's going to be backup or at least really close to. So there is a little bit of concern for them. But very strong hero right now. Loving the way that some of the teams are using it, like OG especially.
Dire team
Even
pick.
S4, the old standby favorite of his. Love seeing this hero back in the meta. I think it's just another one of those more enjoyable ones to watch. As well as there's no Rubik available here for Team Empire, which can be a little bit of a problem for Brewmasters sometime. But it's unlikely
10
they grab him, at least for their current
remaining.
lineup, unless we get like a mid Rubik.
That would be amazing.
That would be
5
amazing.
seconds remaining.
But sadly, I don't think that's one thing that they've been looking towards. But hell, I would be very pleased if
Reserve
they did.
time.
Yeah, why not? Well, I will say for Team Empire's side, they've got a lot of control in their own right. You got the Sand King here. The Kunkka is obviously great at being able to team fight as well. I didn't talk a
10
whole heck of a lot
seconds
about the rum
remaining.
buff, but in the midst of these fights with the Weaver trying to hit onto you, the
5
burst damage that could
seconds
come out with the
remaining.
Lifestealer now as well, if the boat comes off
Radiant
first, it could be
team
pretty good.
pick.
Yeah, now they have a bit of a tough call. Do they really just want to go right back for the Ember? He's still there. He would have to worry about the Dispel from the Brewmaster ultimate, but that's not the biggest deal. As well as the
10
natural
seconds
diffusal blade
remaining.
that could come out from the Weaver. Who, by the way, I guess is going to be
5
mid
seconds remaining.
as they do pick up that last Lifestealer.
Isn't it going to be mid-brew?
I suppose that's also possible. We just send like the Weaver to the off lane and do some weird safe lane stuff.
Yeah.
It's so weird to see mid brew.
I know, right? It's been
He
forever.
used to be so normal, but now he's just always shoved into that off lane. Yeah, I guess it'll just depend on who's gets sent where. If it is a mid brew, they could definitely abuse this with a mid Terrorblade.
I love this hero model. Like, look at him. He looks so cool. I really miss having him back in the meta. I'm excited that he's coming back into it. We need more Brewmaster in our life. He's such a cuddly guy. We're gonna switch over to the in-game Vega Squadron versus Team Empire. Game number 3. We're doing it.
Woo!
All right, there we go. I had to play
Did
the little
that
thing
help?
again.
Well, I was hoping like the woo would like go over top of it.
It did actually,
Oh, excellent. Good. That's all I
10
needed.
seconds
but
remaining.
you don't know what the like little video is. You need to watch it
And I have
later.
no idea what it is. It's true.
5 seconds
So
remaining.
the woo was it was in a decent place. I liked it. I liked the woo.
Oh, good. Thank you.
No problem. All right. So early movement out there. Ditya is not going to be playing it, and it is actually going to be the G Weaver. So you're right about
Got
that
him.
one. Damn.
I'm taking the win.
Maybe he's going offlane with it with the Wraith Band. That's definitely the play, right?
Yeah, Wraith Band, Shared Tangos, offlane, pretty standard stuff. But it does mean that since they're sending the Weaver mid, then we'll be getting our Lone Druid mid here too from Chap. You're not going to do any crazy Terrorblade matchups. As much as I love TB mid up against someone like Alchemist or something like that, I could see the same thing happening maybe up against a Brewmaster, but won't be the case today. Instead, they'll still be leaning against each other. Just a slightly rougher time here for Meg. But looks like he'll get a little bit of help, at least off the start.
Yeah. Snake goes down there, places down a ward, which was immediately dewarded as FN was doing the pump fake to
30
try and
seconds
take it
to
out.
battle.
So being a bit of a butt. That's how they play sometimes. These teams know each other quite well, I feel like. A lot of the players, it's a tight-knit group up there, I'd imagine.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get to see a little bit more of that, of course, as we talk about this whole CIS region becoming just a little bit more distinct from its European brethren, separating the two distinct qualifier groups.
Do you feel like there's been a
The
distinct
battle
meta
begins.
too? Do you see a big difference in the games we've been watching versus some of the other ones in the EU region?
Maybe a couple. Like the Silencer, I haven't seen too much everywhere else. I would say it's a little bit more common here. That'd be maybe one of the bigger ones. But overall, not much. I mean, we're still the same heroes, right? We're Meepos, we're Lone Druids, we're Ember Spirits. I guess there's a little bit of more flavor heading in towards like the 3rd, 4th, 5th picks, perhaps. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I also don't get to watch too much of the Europe because we're into this until so late, you know.
Yeah, I know, it's true. God, it has been a rough one. Oh my God, Ghost Stick. He decided to do it. Everybody get your sandstorms out. It's time to party. And
Wow,
he will
level
get
1
denied.
do. That's exciting.
When was the last time you saw that? I haven't seen that in a while. Seneko, top lane, gets body blocked in and trying to go for the crush. The Metamorphosis isn't going to be enough. He needs another hit. The salve going to keep him alive. And, well, man, that was a tough one. But that's meta down.
Yeah, well, so much for that early pressure potential, though. Like, maybe once the meta's back on cooldown, they could try something. But their Shrine is forced out. And TV often likes to go for the meta in the first lane anyway, just guarantee, or rather in the first wave anyway, just guarantee a bunch of CS, try and bully the offlaner as much as possible, and then by the time it's back online, you're potentially looking towards a kill with the first couple levels added onto your supports. And they have to be very cautious of that too, just because King R, you never know. Like, you can't take too much harass as Meg or Seneko right now, because if you drop to like 70%, they could just combo you to death.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, look at this again. Just constantly sandstorming. It's a frustrating one to deal with, and Sand King's getting a lot out of it. Like, they didn't bring any sentries to lane, so it ends up
Yeah,
working
he had
for him.
one, but I'm not sure what happened to it. I think he must have dipped it mid or something.
Yeah. Meantime,
That's,
checking the runes. Maposhka
Oh, that's what it was. He dropped it when he went down bottom, so.
Oh, this play by Maposhka. Picks up the arcane, throws out the torrent, and then gets the bounty as well. Snakeo's pissed.
Maposhka just playing with the fog, just like, all right, later, dude. Seneko thinks he might be faking as well, so but he goes for the obvious torrent, and then it works. That's some great stuff.
Maposhka, the
Dota.
boss. That's
It's
great.
like, Sioma also found himself a bounty rune. Gets the double. So Maposhka gets arcane 2 bounties. Sioma gets 2 bounties to himself. Not too bad.
This does mean, of course, level 2. They get the initiation. They're going to be able to find Seneko. Another torrent. He's just getting used to swimming in the water, Mr. Fishy. He's going to be forced back out again. So, very frustrating minute and a half for Seneko here. Maposhka's just making his life hell.
Chappie and G. Pretty bland time in mid. I guess nothing really kicks off until Chappie actually has the root available. And then G, probably not going to have the funnest time. You know, the rails keep tackling.
Oh, God.
Wow, that was...
And Maposhka gets the kill, too.
And here come the
Man, he just really has his number right now. Is that something that you feel like would tilt a player? Like, you're sort of sparring off against the support early on, and then something like that happens as well?
I mean, I'm sure it's annoying, but it's kind of whatever. You're just trying to apply as much pressure as you can and open up some space for your Brewmaster. It's just not quite working out as Seneko. And now he'll try his luck up top with Ghost Stick. But he has this ward over here by the rune, too. So now he'll spot down what Seneko's up to. See that he's coming in for this rune. Could potentially go for a TP play as well. They have a shrine to work with. Should be an easy kill. Or maybe it'll just be a contest for the bounty. Ghost Stick. Oh, doesn't want to go for it.
Yeah. And Seneko able to find a bounty rune. The Burrow Strike's going to connect. A couple more shots in the face, and yeah, it looks like he's just going to back out afterwards. So should be able to escape from that one as Chappie continuing to take damage in the mid lane.
But now, there is a DD rune on the bear, and there's also the potential for the root. So G needs to be a little bit careful until he at least hits 6.
It's currently the CS, though. You take a look at across the board, and Empire, the strong lead across all lanes. It does look like they're going to go after Ghost Stick now. Sandstorm and Burrow Strike able to get away from Seneko. They're going to get the root down. Still looking for the crush. It's not there. Ghost Stick going to heal back up from this one, and now Seneko a bit too deep. They get the X.
Oh, look who it
back
is.
in. Oh, your wildest dreams. Maposhka finds another kill on Seneko. He is just all over him.
Well, bottom lane, at least there's 30 seconds for Meg. Or you can just say, okay, no Metamorphosis. I can bully FN a little bit here. Make use of my evasion, my crit, as well as my blind.
Just really have not been able to accomplish that much, though, because I mean, you look at it, 12-2 on the Brewmaster isn't so bad for an off lane. But then what it really comes down to is that mid, this Lone Druid has just been able to have everything that he wants, and Weaver 17-7 versus the 32-9. He's getting crushed.
Yep. Early on, in any sort of scenario where you're actually engaged with someone else in the last lane, you're not just like free farming something like that. You have to rely on Chikuchi quite a bit. So the earlier stages can be a bit more difficult. No real chances for runes as well. And oh, there's that sentry. Gee, there you go. Finds the path to freedom.
Yeah, good decision there to head down bottom. King R maybe showing a little bit prematurely there, and Maposhka going for more points in the torrent, so he can actually do damage, but it's of course going to mean that X is really hard to get off.
Might be able to close the gap here on the Mag, but almost up to 6. Would love to get a kill on him before he cracks into that, and so it looks like King R is coming over to try and help. So the range on Disruption, probably their best bet unless they want to go for a blind torrent. They're going to hit it!
Oh, Maposhka again. They have the X marks, pulling him back into this one. He is going to end up going for the Drunken Haze, and oh, they interrupt the primal, the split. It does look like Mag is going to be able to get out of that one, though, and now they're in a lot of trouble. The rotation from Seneko as well. Maposhka going to be the first to fall. G still looking for more. King R going to get ran down. They get the crush for the kill. FN should be able to get out of this one. I believe he has a lot of armor. Snako dive in, has another crush in a second. The TPs are not coming from the rest of the team, but FN just heads out the other direction, and now Mag's starting to take the damage. He might end up going down here. No, they get the crush and the split. That's going to be FN. Saved by the last second by King R, and he's going to be dealing a lot of damage with all these illusions. Turning to fight, they do find the kill, though. And Oracle also showed up, so now they might even end up losing King R. They realize he's still in the area. Already a huge win for the side of Vega, and they continue to just crush down here. Empire, can it do enough on the side? Oh, it's a lot. G starting to drop low. Time left, but he is going to be X back. The fight that never ends is G, well, trying to get out of there. They get another burrow, torrent back up in 2 seconds. G trying to run. He's going to be able to find... No, he ends up falling nonetheless. God damn.
Yeah, that all starts because they stacked Disruption and Reflection. I think they would have been able to get Mag had they not stacked that. And just made his way to freedom. And then subsequently, of course, into the, the split that helped in that fight under the tower. But Vegas watching lose quite a bit to big plays from Ghost to come back to Team Berserk. He's now level 7. He's about to be level 8 in a moment here. And that could give him Epicenter if he wants to go for something down bottom. Yeah, he'll take that. He's going to hope that maybe Chappie can find a route.
They do spot this, though.
Yeah, a little observer helping out. And it's Seneko with a little surprise inside, looking to get some revenge on Maposhka and friends.
Oh, Chappie's there. They find him. There's the initiation that comes out. And, well, the root is there as well. Chappie, no way out of this one. Life Seal right on top of him.
There we go. This is what we were missing last game, too. I feel like we didn't get an Infest gank for so long. But right away this time for Ditcherod. Doesn't even wait for the armlet.
Yeah.
Just knowing how active they've been from the side of Empire. And now some pressure into this tower that has already seen so much action this game.
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom
It's been a
tower
little bit
is
nuts
under
down
attack.
there. And, like, you look at it, the fact that Kunkka's been able to be a part of all of these, he's actually almost level 6 now at 8 minutes or 9 minutes in.
Radiant's bottom tower
Pretty
is under
impressive
attack.
stuff. Almost up
Yeah,
there with the rest of the cores.
King R's not even level 4 yet in comparison in terms of like supports, so happy Kunkka, but Terrorblade, he's kind of good at these trades.
Are fortified.
Tends to be some of this heroes
Radiant's
all right at
bottom
partaking
tower
in.
has fallen.
So despite all that pressure down the bottom lane, the rotation, the infest bomb, it amounts to essentially the same victory for both teams. In fact, when you look at the actual net worth, Radiant pretty happy. Chappie well ahead here. About a 400 gold lead. Of course, that's only one death away really from changing.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful. And
Radiant's
Ghost Stick still
bottom
holding
tower
Epicenter though,
is
and
under
they're
attack.
already on the tower with no one in sight. They do have the
Is
split
under
though. Oh,
attack.
this could be such a huge fight for them.
This would be really big, and they're
Support,
looking for
though.
it.
Fortified.
So much vision winning this engagement. Absolutely allowing them to get out in time. Full rotation forcing them from the side of Vega. Support's doing major work right now.
Yeah.
Side of Empire.
This is what you were talking about. The problem that they faced in game number 1 was just that lack of vision early, and they're solving it right here. Maposhka, 2 points up in X. He would need to get quite close to G to make this work. And looks like no follow-up was there from the rest of his team, so they're going to back out. And it looks like call it good for now.
Cut from the same cloth.
Gotta say, Mapochka's been quite the player over the past couple days. Probably the individual that has impressed me the most out of all the teams. Thought, again, like his ogre play, general shot calling and whatnot, if, well, maybe he wasn't making his shot calls, but in terms of like his playing around those Rubik lifts and everything when he was the ogre,
Yeah.
thought that was so well done. Just helped them completely win and secure games. And this time, though, they certainly won't win on this call, as the Roach goes down rather fast. This side there, good old Slider.
Uh-oh.
Just helping out.
Chappie needs to get out of here. Snakeo's going to be on top of him. They throw out the Savage Roar. All right, that should be enough to get him out of there. So, couldn't kill off the bear either. No damage instances dealt to him. So, poofs out and away. Trying to think if there was anybody else really on any of those other teams that really stood out. Let's see, was there anybody really?
I found the first time we watched Seneko, I didn't think he did too well.
Right.
I remember thinking that you know, I wasn't super impressed. But then like the next series that we had him, he was doing a lot better. Or rather, I think it was like the first game and then the second game or something. There was something with Seneko where he'd have a big down and then a big up. He was the only other like big individual that I've been thinking a lot about what you've been watching. Mag played pretty well as well in our past series.
I was thinking Comanche. They looked really good as well.
Oh yeah, ILTW, the Invoker.
Yeah. Pretty impressive stuff. But showing there's still a lot of talent in the CIS team. I feel like it's kind of a scene that's been maligned a little bit in the professional general scene, where like people don't really take CIS teams too seriously anymore. And I feel like they've really made a comeback. Like VP in particular is starting it off with the Summit win and all the other stuff that came out through there. And it just hasn't really turned back since then.
The thing about CIS is that a lot of the old guard just left. They're just gone.
Yeah.
Whereas that didn't really happen anywhere else. Like the European old guard is still all there. The NA guys especially. Like all those familiar names still playing. Plenty of Dota. But a lot of those dire names like Silent, for example, those health issues, he was gone. As they do find down bottom. Nice aggressive play. The two cores working together here.
Yeah, getting King R. They're also setting up here on the top lane and are going to be able to get Seneko. Tries to TP out. No such luck. And Mapochka even going to hang on to the boat for this one. Chappie finds that kill. That's a big one. That was his Blink Dagger he's still working on.
Yeah, just slowing that down even further. And that means Ghost Stick's still up here. Again, they're pressuring this tower. They're in position. They have still a bit of lingering vision. They did deward the one by the shrine, but there's still another one, which is unlikely to be suspected considering the other vision that was there. We'll see if they check down another sentry, but Ghost Stick is here. Blink Dagger, Epicenter at the ready. Mapochka's just ready to set it up for him.
Yeah, and that boat dropping as well can make all the difference in the world, and they almost go there onto the Oracle.
It's tough though. Like he can just he'll live for sure.
Right.
So they have to try and find someone far enough away from Sioma that they can actually get the kill.
Well, and the wraparound could come from Seneko. If they could get him, this would be huge. And did you realize that the Oracle is over here? And King is in the area as well. They're going to TP out. So finding Chappie, they don't break the TP. Looks like the rest of them are just going to be comfortable running away.
Jeez, were they ever abusing that fog too? Like right in behind the tower, they had no idea they made that rotation.
Yeah.
With Ghost Stick and Mapochka, so away they go.
All right, 5-6. Smoke up. Was that under a ward?
I couldn't tell if it was behind the trees or not.
There's some pings.
Well, Ghost Stick seems ready. And well, they're also not pressuring that lane anymore. So they know they had to make some rotation through here, so they probably suspect smoke.
Boat out, but he's already gone. And it looks like with that, the rest of the side of Empire should escape. Storm Panda trying to run down the Ghost Stick, but not going to find him.
Middle tower is under attack.
Find a courier.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Go for it, though.
Oh, Epi going in. Onto G. Burrow Strike going to be there. Is it enough damage? He time lapses away. Oh, Ghost Stick getting a little bit too up in his own thoughts there, and he is going to end up paying for this one. But that all is happening. They're taking the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. They force out the glyph, so this is going to fall. That's not a bad play.
Is just, he's been in the jungle for so long. He's gotten over top. Like Lone Druid was making those plays where he's pressuring top, he's drawing attention, and that whole time FN's just like doing the cycle.
Yeah.
There's neutral camps, lane creeps, neutral camps, lane creeps, and now finally with that just busts up a gut. And bottom lane down. Shadow Demon even going for disruption play to send
Dire's
some more
bottom
illusions to
tower
keep
is
this
under
pressure up
attack.
before TPing home.
This is something that I wanted to see. If Shadow Demon creates the illusions, when they die, is it the experience that you get based off of Shadow Demon's level? Golden experience based off his level or based off of Terrablade's level?
Sorry, if what happens?
Well, because
cut out for a second there.
illusions give golden experience now. So Shadow Demon illusions, would they give it based off of Shadow Demon's level, or would they give it based off of Terrablade's?
I can confess that I have not looked up the numbers on
Yeah,
those ones.
it's a really weird interaction. I don't think it really matters, but I'm kind of curious. Go check it out later. Try it in your pubs, guys. Figure it out.
It says based on the hero's level, so it would be Shadow Demons then.
Okay, that
So,
makes more
there you
sense.
go.
Well, here we go as the top tier 2 tower, one of the last ones.
Now I
standing
don't
here.
know though, because it would be a copy of a level. Maybe it is Terra.
Did you
actually,
run?
I'm gonna guess it's Terra Blades.
They're able to get him. He wasn't able to rage out of there. They just find the kill. They got a like first or second hit root, and then they savage roared, and then they were able to just kill him off with the stacked up stuns. Now Maposhka also over here. Do they spot out G? Still invis. They're not gonna be able to get him.
Now you're working my brain here. This stupid illusion thing. It should just be. It should be the Terra Blades because you're making a copy. Because it's not like it has anything to do with Shadow Demon. You just like negate Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with him. So it should just be the unit of which it copies the golden experience based off of that. But
You know, I'm not gonna lie. I lost some sleep over this, thinking about it last night.
you're a card, you know. Look at you. But,
Oh, what? Did you just call me Cart Dota? This is
No, I
fighting
said a
words.
card. Oh God, please don't do these things. Come on now. I'm not an animal.
Jeez. Well, 6.
Either way, despite the kills, I am pretty happy from Empire. You know, I don't know if you guys noticed, they have no towers. They're gone.
Yeah.
That was fast. I feel like they just had towers, but then this lane was gone, and now this lane, well, it was gone, and top's gone. So now they just have this thing, a little shrine.
Yeah.
And I don't think the next row should be quite as easy for the Dire.
I love these type of plays. Kunkka just throws out the boat in the mid lane, and such a low cooldown for this spell. I was really happy it's one of the few parts of Kunkka that didn't get nerfed. I feel like the boat is just so integral. That hero. But yeah, it's a tough one right now for Vega Squadron. It feels like, again, it's sort of similar to what happened last game, where
One thing that I like the fact that they have this gem, their Oracle player roaming around here, but that if they lose that, that is just disaster.
Yeah.
They haven't invested into one on the Radiant side. I can understand why they need it because the aggressive vision has really been hurting them so far this game, so I think it's a wise pickup, but they need to be so careful if they lose that gem. I would be like, I wouldn't even cross the river with that thing. I would just want to get the courier and send it back. It doesn't really do much for you in combat at all. It's only going to create problems for you if you lose it.
Al Chappie in that bear form, large and tanky. Looks like everybody else is going to start to rotate back towards mid and be ready for a fight if one does happen to come up. But yeah, they're just going to back out now. Vega not wanting to take it. What's the point where Vega can actually start to take fights again? Because it feels like they're just losing every one that they take.
Well, they're in a problem because they need to do these infest bomb ganks, but they can't afford to because they can't push out the waves enough. If they can get a, well, I guess the Maelstrom's up on G at this point, and a little bit of gold. So, if they can let him get enough split push, look, even they invest in a Maelstrom on Ditchera too, because of just how much split push they need to do, and they need as much wave clear as possible, and that just limits their opportunity for ganks so heavily.
Yeah.
And Mag just becomes so useless in this scenario. He just wants to fight. He's like, guys, I have split. Let's go. Let's smoke. Let's fight. Let's do something. But they're like, oh wait, but guys, there's creeps in our base. And then by the time they clear this out, this wave's in their base. And then Terrorblade's up top. And it's just endless. The cycle continues.
That was something that we identified as a problem earlier. They're going to go for a 5-man smoke right now. And you can see last time they did spot out the smoke rotation from Empire with the scan being used. And, well, Empire, they don't have... Well, they do have a scan right now if they want to use it. But it looks like Vega, they're just not comfortable. And like you said, the waves are pushing in.
And now it's just a waiting game for Roche for them.
There is that other smoke that's there if they want to go for it.
This is new Lone Druid, guys. This is what the bear does with new Lone Druid. He camps Roche.
That's frustrating.
The hero has changed. And now Mjolnir almost done for Chappie. 1,000 gold to go.
You know, I'm thinking about this a little bit more, and the way that fight ended up working out, where Sand King gave his life away with the epicenter, but they still ended up taking both tier 1 bottom and tier 2 bottom. Even though he died and they didn't get the kill on Weaver, that was still such a huge play because they just chased him around the whole time. And like now they've lost map control because of it. And speaking of Burrow Strike, there's on to 2, and also going to be able to control up to tier Ra. They throw out the ulti. He has rage if he wants to use it, but just going to back out now. Hops inside of a creep in.
He needs to jump like now.
G. All right, also going to get X. There's the pullback with the Torrent. He's going to die, and the boat's there, so they're not going to take a ton of this damage. They have the split, but already that's Lifestealer gone, and it looks like Seneko also going to be pulled back into it. A nice crush, but they still just don't have the damage right now. They are too freaking strong, and also going to be able to use the Sunder to keep FN a little bit more alive. Seneko is going to get ran down. The fact that they went for that jump after the room buff, look at how low everybody is now.
Yep. King had a nice save with the disruption too. He almost went down, saved himself, and then he's there for the rest of the fight too to help offer up a little bit more control. Gets off his ulti. And now we just move right into the pit as the bear has scouted the Roche.
Well, it's one of the few spells where you don't always get to see the full impact it has, but in that one you really did. Like, I don't know how much damage exactly was being dealt, but it was quite a lot mitigated.
Quite. Yeah, I would say so. Man, Terrorblade's been looking good in these games we've had so far in CIS. I gotta say, I don't think we've seen the hero lose. But he's also almost always like an extremely late pick, of course. I don't know, Elder Titan not exactly a hero anymore anyway. He used to be the big scary one.
Yeah.
Man, that hero died. Talking about dead heroes.
He was barely alive, which is really sad. G.
He was first pick for a moment.
Oh God.
Give him his glory. Yeah, that was a nice grab.
And they take it away.
And the thing is, he needed this split push, so I definitely don't judge him for going for the Maelstrom. I don't think he had a choice. In terms of like he needed Maelstrom just to push waves that were like here, and a Lincoln Sphere is not going to help you when you're farming there anyway, because no one's going to be ganking you. So the Maelstrom is the only reason he's even like out this far hitting creeps.
Which is what they have to do.
Purchase. Yeah, exactly. They're in a real pickle.
Yeah, it ain't good. It ain't good at all. And trying to think about like comeback potentials, we've seen them get good ultis off from Brew. We've seen them have nice crushes from Seneko, but they just sort of scoop by Mag there. Might have been the death of them had they gotten that X off. My goodness.
Yeah, and Brewmaster, not very good at handling someone like Terrorblade. He just creates, like, yes, maybe you can handle the main man himself, but even all his illusions just, you don't offer a whole heck of a lot up against them, especially now that your Drunken Haze doesn't have the chance to do your little AoE effect. You just can only pick one guy, so your main impact is generally single target. You toss one guy up in the air, you can stun another, so yeah, you can like fully control two people, which is sick. But that's Terrorblade. And then you're also dealing with Lone Druid, who you really want to handle. This guy's a Mjolnir and a Dragon Lance, and he's super obnoxious. Kind of brags about how awesome he is all the time.
Well, and there's the crush. Seneko just trying to do what they can to keep these illusions off the tower, but looks like right now Empire, having already taken down all the shrines, they're in a good position to slow siege if they want, or just walk up the hill, honestly. Like, next meta, go for it. They've got Aegis still, too. It's got a Scotty online. FN has bought out at this point, so he is like the ultimate in terms of ahead in net worth.
Yeah, 15,000 in usable, functional gold right now.
That is absurd. A good initiation comes out, though, and they are going to be able to kill off that Kunkka, so no boat this time, as they are going to have the epicenter chasing down Seneko. Ditchera just destroyed, and, well, they do get the Sunder off, so they're going to lift up TB in the midst of this fight. King R going to have to self-destruct, and is going to be able to not quite get it off, but goes to counterplay there onto G, is going to end up dying as well.
God.
And
it's fair.
Yeah. It was looking good for a bit, but
Meg did it. He did control FN. He got him tossed up, and then Chappie's just on this high ground, annihilating everyone.
Ugh. It makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. It's terrible. Dichira just going to get beaten down to death. And, well, they turn now. G trying to do something. He's going to get rooted as well. GG ends up getting called, and Empire are going to move on to the playoffs. Meanwhile, Vega Squadron have to fight it out in just a little bit here against the winner of Comanche facing off against Friends the next round. So what do you think? How are you feeling about Empire? How are you feeling about Effect, our two winners from today and the two that are going to move on into the playoffs?
I really like Empire as a team. I think they have a very strong support duo. I think the way they've played, like in terms of the overall strategy of the supports, I haven't noticed that with any other team so far in these qualifiers, just like how much of an impact it's made in the game. And not to say that, anyone's playing particularly worse in terms of supports, but it's just so evident what Maposhka and King Eye are doing in a lot of these games. The vision, ridiculous. The cheeky pulls, also ridiculous, as well as disrupting those cheeky pulls and trying to stop the kind of stuff from happening. Some of the more impressive play that we have seen out of the supports, but Vega, I did like them. I thought they were doing pretty well, but they just got upper handed by Empire. They won some games with Meepo. They beat a Lone Druid, and now they've taken the Lone Druid for themselves and taken the victory with a solid 8-1-4 score there from Chappie. Empire's back, baby. They look great.
Absolutely. I'm really excited to see how they go. And the other thing about it is that it's a team we're going to get to see more of soon. There's no way that they don't get invited to the CIS qualifiers for the major when it ends up coming out. There's still some more qualifiers, I believe, that are going to be starting up for other tournaments as well. I'm not sure about that one, but it's going to be interesting to see them. They've always been kind of on the outskirts and maybe going to make that next move up, particularly if Navi stay in the EU region. Not sure if that's going to happen for the major or not, but we'll keep our eyes on it. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Any final words, Trent, before we end up signing off for today?
Oh, no. Thanks you guys for tuning in. Thanks for having me again. And we'll be back with more CIS tomorrow.
CIS Dota, absolutely. For now, EU is still going on, I believe, where Cap and Gods are going to be yelling their little heads off about some great EU teams. And then a little bit later on, I believe that it's going to be Coddle Guy and Blaze doing American qualifiers. So be sure to tune in for all that action. More from Lumi and Aosin. And then guess what? We already talked about it. We're back on again as well. So a lot of great Dota 2 with us. See you guys then. Have a good one.